The views and opinions expressed by the guests and contributors on Conklin and Company are not necessarily those of 13 ABC. Now, Conklin and Company continues with Take 3, commentary and analysis from our panel of political contributors.
Welcome back, everyone. Now we veer from weather to a different game. It is the political game. As London Mitchell from Cumulus Radio and K100 and a bunch of other stations joins us. It's hard to keep track, London. It really is sometimes.
Well, there's 7 stations.
Is it 7?
In the complex.
Is it 7?
Yeah.
You know, and we have Fletcher Word from the Sojourner's Truth, got the gallery down there. You know, you got your tentacles everywhere too, Fletcher, so it's good to see you, and congratulations on the paper's 10th anniversary.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You bet. Let's start with one of your predictions many, many months ago. And your predictions are legendary on this program when it comes to elections. And you said, well, even though it's still not a done deal, that Mitt Romney would be the nominee a long, long time ago. And it looks after sweeping all 5 primaries on Tuesday, he certainly is marching on to the convention as the nominee.
Yeah, he certainly is. He certainly is. And now it's time for him to tack to the middle and stop saying all those things that he said that got him the nomination, because you know, as Romney knows, you don't need a weatherman to know which way the wind blows, and he certainly knows which way the wind blows.
Well, and it goes back to sort of the Etch-a-Sketch thing. He already this week has started kind of going back a little bit.
I think we're going to see a different Mitt Romney now, more of the Mitt Romney that we knew before the election started, and a lot of the real conservative stances that I think made the people who are the undecideds or the middle of the road people a little nervous. You're going to see him back away from that.
Yeah, well, you know, he said during the primary races that he was at one point severely conservative, and now he's going to tack back and be severely moderate.
You can't be both. Okay.
Well, I don't know.
Well, do you think Rob Portman really is a viable VP choice at this point? Or is it more Rubio? I mean, where's he?
You know, I think the thing with Portman is that the only reason for his selection is to get a leg up in Ohio. I mean, that's the only reason. He's not a nationally known brand. No. He has some baggage. You know, he was the budget director under Bush, so that's not going to help him. As much respect as you can have for Portman, I think that's the only reason to get to bring him on board.
It is going to make a big difference in the campaign who he selects, and who he can have galvanize some of the issues that he might not feel comfortable talking about as the candidate. But I think the big issue now is who he picks.
Yeah, let me ask you that. How important is that running mate, Sarah Palin, with John McCain? I mean, what role did that have?
Well, we saw a burst of excitement, and then we saw some problems there because she
became an issue.
She was the story.
Instead of being a help to look at the issues and address the issues, she became the story.
Let me throw out something here. Lon and I were discussing this off camera here, but if I'm Romney, I take another look at Rick Santorum. And he's on nobody's list right now, but he has a couple of things that Romney really wants and needs, and that is he has a national brand, okay, and he would bring excitement to the conservative base and get that turnout there. Now, to the extent that, you know, there have been a lot of nasty remarks played back and forth.
It's amazing that you can mend the fence.
You can mend the fence. It's happened before. You know, Reagan brought Bush the first on, even though Bush had accused him of playing voodoo economics. You know, Bush goes on the ticket and he says, well, I used to be pro-choice, but now I'm pro-life, because that's what this ticket is all about there. But I think Rick Santorum could really help.
What do you think, London?
If Rick Santorum can be taught to keep his mouth closed, and we were talking about this, there are some things that he said that I think very, very, well, they frighten people. I think the more liberal people or the middle of the road people, they're frightened because there was no room in a lot of what Rick Santorum said for any debate. Now, if he can be held back on some of those real touchy issues and address
the economy.
Right. I think what the real issue is here is how quickly Romney if he can, to set the agenda, because already President Obama he's launching his campaign officially down at Ohio State University next week, and he's going to, or this week, but he's going to have an ability to set the agenda. Otherwise, he's going to be on the ropes.
Right. I will say, by the way, the Santorum is on nobody's list now. I don't think there's much of a chance. But if I were a Romney advisor,
it's an interesting possibility.
Yeah.
We really didn't have time to get into the Red Cross labor dispute and Toledo City Council. We're going to run out of time. But really, within a couple of seconds, surprised that it was even brought up.
Shocked.
Stunned that with everything going on, that's where they went. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe we'll touch on this a little bit more as we move forward. Thanks, guys. London Mitchell and Fletcher Word. Always a pleasure to have both of you on Conklin and Company. Make it a great Sunday, everybody. We'll see you next week, 11 o'clock, right here on 13 ABC.